help. You can always ask for help from psychiatrists.
Mia,
I'm so sorry, doctor. I've been so out of it lately. I don't know.
wake up.
What?
Hey, are you doing alright? Is everything doing fine, man? Well, if everything's not doing fine, don't worry. This podcast is here just to make you feel a bit happy.
Well, I couldn't agree more, JP. We are just here to spread good vibes and have a good time and relax. And of course, to create a safe space for you.
Hey, you already started yapping and they don't even know our names yet.
Oh, forgive our manners. Let us introduce ourselves. Here with me is our main researcher, Rudy.
Also, let's not forget our scriptwriter, Liza.
Let's not forget our main actress and directress, Mia!
Let's not forget our hardworking and talented editor, Phil Santos.
And of course, last but not least, our project manager, JP. And we are
Mindbridge Productions.
Mindbridge Productions.
Mindbridge Productions.
Mindbridge Productions.
Now to start things off, you might be wondering, why are we doing this? So we are doing this simply because we wanted to contribute to the SDGs in our community, especially SDG 3, which talks about good health and well-being, meaning improvements in health facilities, developing countermeasures for pandemics and epidemics, investing for cures and vaccines to mitigate the risk or prevent the risk for the diseases, and of course to improve the overall global health standards.
Actually, to even be more particular, our advocacy as Mindbridge, we aim to address the well-being side of things. Initiatives such as mental health talks, and then
Mental health education, right?
yes, mental health education, and for the people, people such as mental health workers, psychologists, and
We can't
generally the people who suffer from mental health.
Yeah, that's right.
We have to empower them and show them that their problems matter.
Yeah, I guess it's really important, really nice that we're talking about this right now, especially in our current modern world. I mean, mental health has been so under the radar recently that I don't think I've ever even heard about this. So I guess it's really important we talk about this right now before it becomes an even bigger issue in our society. Right, Rudy?
Yeah, Phil was going to mention it anyways.
Yeah. Oh, and speaking about that, Rudy, you are our main researcher in Mindbridge Productions. Tell me, what are the causes of this problem? Like, are there structural issues, cultural issues, like any stigmas probably surrounding it? Tell us rather, how much this has affected our poor victims of mental health.
Well, firstly, let's refer to the info that I collected from a qualitative research by Tanaka et al. Last 2018. The research shows that, first of all, they discovered Filipino youth are scared in opening up about their mental health because they are scared that their reputation might be ruined. They are scared to open up to their families, friends, and even mental health, the people working in mental health. And second, they learned how Filipinos take mental health optimistically. as we all know, Filipinos are stereotyped for being happy.
That is true.
Yeah. And lastly, in relation to loss of reputation, they could lose important economic opportunities such as jobs, which worsens their situation.
Yeah, honestly, I don't like that. It's frustrating to think that our society is so judgmental towards the people, even though they're just being emotionally vulnerable, an essential part of being human.
But to lighten the mood, I would also like to consider the value of bayanihan, which is also a value where no Filipino will be left out.
Oh, that's actually nice. I am glad to see that they are actually forming small communities and they are forming small communities to,
and
to
also
support,
support
each other.
each other.
Yeah.
Yes. But we believe that this is not enough. Our advocacy, in addition to what Philip has said earlier, aims to enlighten the people about the reality of the struggles of not only those suffering with mental health, but those seeking to cure it, guys. Isn't that right?
Yes.
Through the power of audiovisual media, our advocacy aims to spread the message in a creative, impactful, and engaging way to really reach as many people as possible so that we can hopefully show them that these people matter, that their voices matter. And we want them to give them that voice so that they can be able to fight for what they deserve, fight for what they need.
That's actually right, JP. If you've been browsing through social media lately, you might have seen our posters and videos. Through these pieces of media, we want to enlighten the population and show the community of Davao City that the current state of our mental health situation.
We have dedicated this advocacy to the many young Filipinos out there who are struggling with their mental health. For the ones that who can seek but who cannot seek mental health facilities, and also we also dedicated this to the mental health workers who work tirelessly, especially considering the statistic where there's only 3 mental health workers per 100,000 people.
Yeah.
And
Devastating.
yeah, and of course to the psychologists and psychiatrists here in the Philippines who also work tirelessly to learn more about the field of mental health here in the Philippines.
But in terms of technicalities, we are with the two, the most familiar of this. Hey, would you like to explain our video, Liza and Mia?
Yes, I would love to. But first, I really want to talk about the technical elements of our video because I do feel like we really encapsulated the feeling of how dark mental health can be. And in our dark advocacy video, we decided to give it a darker theme and somewhat similar to a found footage horror film where the almost silent element and the sudden appearance of the text media was all to create the tension. And as the writer of our film, I really wanted that dark theme to accompany the message of our advocacy and what we are trying to fight for.
So on the fact that Liza's on the topic of messages, let's talk about the message of the film or message of the advocacy. The message that I wanted to portray or what we wanted to portray is that mental health or problems in mental health will always be a silent crime, or it's currently a silent cry or a silent call for help. And it is important for institutions and for people to accept that and to find more ways in order to make mental health struggles more prominent and more seen in media or whatever.
Yes, I agree with you. But as our main actress and also our director, what did you feel portraying that character while we were filming?
Honestly, it was I had a lot of pressure in me because I wanted to portray this character very properly because, again, we were talking about mental health and it is a very complicated topic.
Yeah, it's a dark topic.
It's a dark topic,
Yes.
so you really have to portray, or what I felt as the main actor, I really wanted to portray it properly, to give justice to those who are really struggling with mental health issues. And honestly, during the filming, it was kind of stressful, and I really felt connected to my own mental health, and it made me reflect on my own mental health.
So especially since our demographics is more on Gen Z, since we are also Gen Z, we are very connected to the topic, and we're kind of thankful that we chose the topics. So it was more natural for us, and I think that we gave it enough justice, and I think that's amazing for Anna.
I would also like to add that in the topic of picking the topic itself, or the SDG itself, it was quite easy for us to build a storyline around it because of the fact that we are also Gen Z, and we also struggle with these kinds of issues as well.
So despite the stigma around the Philippines, most of us can easily acknowledge that mental health is actually a problem here in the Philippines, and it's not just something that we made up, because since we identified it so easily, it just means it is very, very prominent here in the Philippines, especially here in Mindanao, since that's our limit of the.
Have you been feeling anxious or stressed or sad? Well, come with me for some tips and tricks and recite some affirmations with me to help combat those feelings.
Now let's talk tips and tricks on how to process these kinds of feelings. Number 1, take care of your body. Your physical health and your mental health are severely connected. Get enough sleep. 7 to 9 hours is the recommended sleep for a person. Number 2, eat a balanced diet with plenty of fruits, vegetables, and protein. Number 3, stay hydrated. And last but not the least, exercise regularly. Number 2, manage your stress. Practice deep breathing exercises, meditation, or mindfulness. You can even write in a journal to help process your emotions. Engage in activities that relax you. Like for me, I love reading, music, and art. Number 2, stay connected. Remember, your friends, your families are always there for you. So, it is important to stay connected with them. And don't forget, you can always ask for help. If you ever feel unsafe in in your family or your friends, you can always go to a support group. Number 4 rather, limit your negative inputs. If ever you feel like someone has been draining you, or if you feel like you're in a toxic friendship, relationship, then don't be scared to cut it off. Also, if you feel anxious or you feel sad or whatever kinds of negative feelings because of social media, it is best to take a detox, to delete it, or to just even try to stay away from it. Now I think my friend Liza has a few more things to say.
Managing your stress can feel so much more fulfilling, especially when you complete a task. So when you do complete everything, give yourself some time to relax. For example, you could stay at home to catch up on some sleep, hang out with your friends, or be like me and go out to the beach.
In terms of my own experience in mental health, are definitely the times where I feel academically pressured by the people around me and by basically my own expectations as well. How about you, Kaizal? What are your own mental health experiences?
Honestly, since I grew up with family that pressure me academically as well, I feel you on that page, Mia. I feel like we really connect. We're such twins. And more on that, I think that I was really going through it mostly during the pandemic, because during the pandemic I was all alone. I was only talking to my friends on Discord and Messenger, and of course it could get very lonely as well. And sometimes you just can't. You're not supposed to always pour it out on others. So of course you have to also check up on yourself. The way I help myself through those times is, as a very emotional person, I always cry it out. Though people may think that it's not healthy, I think that it's a healthy coping mechanism. Instead of hurting yourself, I think that the most healthy coping mechanism is to let it out and not bottle it. Do you agree?
I agree. I used to really bottle it up, and I used to hate the thought of crying, but I went to WTC a few months ago, and our counselor said that it is better for me to cry rather, because I would refrain myself from crying, but when I do cry, it would end up with me in a mess. So it's really important to just let your feelings out, even when you're alone. And it's important. Also, one thing is to also write it down, or whatever kind of mode of
Yes,
expression.
journaling.
Journaling.
Yes, that's a very healthy as well. Yeah.
Yes.
So I think, of course, since our main problem here is the lack of access to mental health, I think that it's important for fellow Gen Zs to also cope properly and have healthy coping mechanisms. So I hope that our experience and our ways of coping with mental health also helps our fellow Gen Zs.
Thank you.
Nice question, isn't it? But tell me, Mike, have you guys ever heard of a Sigma?
Yeah, that's definitely me.
Sigma? You? Well, you see kasi diba back in our pandemic days, like, diba, in the modern memes around that time, there was these Sigma male, Alpha male
Yeah,
type
Patrick
shit.
Bateman.
You see, before, I wanted to be one of them. I wanted to be a Sigma, you know?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I can relate
like,
to that.
Me too.
So diba you like,
Wanted to be a Sigma.
I like had stress in my life. Let's say I kept getting such bad grades in school, honestly. But I told myself, I'm Sigma, bro. That's nothing. These grades are nothing. Right? How about you, man? I'm Sigma.
Okay, so to be serious, with my own experiences is, of course, when in the pandemic, there's like limited interaction, like, right? So we mostly spend our times on our phone, and of course the things that we see in our phones or in our screens is unrealistic, and sometimes we compare ourselves, and
tama naman.
that's actually unhealthy, you know. So yeah, so it is better to be yourself.
Actually, my experience is very different from you guys, because
How?
during the pandemic, I did not have a phone.
What do you mean?
What? No phone? We were that poor, actually. I did not have a phone, actually.
Okay.
Like my own personal phone.
Okay.
I just borrowed from my parents, and we just had one phone, actually.
I don't know, Nokia.
Yeah.
It's a
No, it's
Nokia
not
phone.
Nokia.
That's it.
But we just had one phone as a family. So basically, I didn't have contact with my friends at all, and then I couldn't talk to my neighbors because we needed to stay at home, and I had to just go stay at my room and bottle everything up. So like,
That's not healthy, bro.
Yeah,
I mean,
I know,
for
I
you before,
know.
for you before.
yeah, but like how I overcame it is like, it's not like we were not allowed to go out. I was still allowed to go out if I don't tell my parents. So like,
boy.
I would go to my neighbors and I will talk to them, vent out my feelings. But my main coping mechanism really is I would actually just buy food and I just eat everything until I feel okay.
Food is good.
Yeah,
But if I hand over the mouth?
sure.
Okay. Okay, so continuing from that Sigma story I told earlier, I was having such bad grades that I just couldn't handle it anymore. I just forget all of those stupid personas. But then I thought my mom would be mad at me with my very poor grades compared to my very high grades before, but she just said it's okay. She just hugged me, accepted it, and said that, I mean, it's a hard time for us, for all of us, in fact. So I guess one of my coping mechanisms was just letting it out on my mom, just telling her how's my day, if it's been a rough day, and then eventually, I'm so lucky she's there in those eventuallys that I became a better person. I became happier. Go through it.
So to sum it all up, there is this saying that no man is an island. So if you need help, seek help. You cannot always do it by yourself. You have many help out there. You have your parents, you have your friends, and of course you have God with you. So always remember to seek for help and pray for guidance. And that is all.